And yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the one, the only wrestling pod worth a darn with the one, the only, the wrestling encyclopedia, Vincent Kennedy Bucci.
Yes. As you can see, I'm in a very awkward chair, but it's all right. I'm fresh off the heels of the first ever Booch Fest show at Anchor Bar in Kennesaw. We got one more coming up on November 17th. That'll be the next one at Anchor Bar and Restaurant located at 2708 Town Center Drive, Kennesaw, Georgia, 30144 at 8 p.m. Shameless plug for a shameless challenger.
You can always plug all of your side hustles here, Booch, on this show. This is what the show is about. It's about the American dream, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why your current prediction champion promises to still represent you after Crown Jewel. This message has been approved by Joey Wenz for president. Now back to your program. Booch, your current prediction champion is feeling really good ahead of noon Saturday, our time here in the A or in the K-Town, Kennesaw down. I'm so excited about this Crown Jewel pay-per-view for a number of reasons, Booch. Number one being it's an opportunity to show the people that my win at the last pay-per-view was not a fluke. It's not like the wins that you've had over and over. And we don't have time to go back and recount the scores or however you want to call that. But moving forward, for the sake of fairness, we're going to make our predictions here for two reasons. One, like I said, to prove that it was not a fluke. And two, to provide genuine intel, and a whole lot of shenanigans along the way into these matches. Booch, why don't we go hard and heavy first? Let's just talk about it. The Bloodline versus Logan Paul, his brothers in his corner. This is a huge match. Listen, we've talked about it before. You know my feelings on this. The fact that the dog feels the same way, probably. Like, why is Logan Paul getting a title match when this is his third match, and this is the third year of Roman Reigns' title reign? So, Booch, for me, I think this is a placeholder. This is going to be a fun kind of, gimmicky match, but we both know the truth. That they're waiting for the true head of the table match at WrestleMania. And I think you know who I'm talking about there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the Bloodline is all about family. And before I get my prediction, speaking of family, I'll address the elephant in the room earlier. That was my lovely niece, Nellie, that just ran by us and ran over there. And she's a little pouting in the corner. She wanted to be on TV, but, we were obviously getting something done here, and we're pressed for time. If we had an hour long, I'd have her sitting on my lap and telling stories, but I know we got a lot to do. So I do know that this is going to be a great show. Having Jake Paul in his corner, I think, is genius, because this is the thing that WWE is doing. And I bring this up a lot on the show. They're creating doubts, because we're both going into this convinced that Roman Reigns is retaining the Universal title. But everything they've done with Logan Paul thus far has created doubt where maybe, just maybe, Logan might pull it off. He might hit that one lucky shot. He might knock out Roman Reigns. He might win this title. He might become our new undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Now, do I still think he's going to win, Logan? No, I don't. But as I mentioned before, if by some miracle, if it happens, if Logan Paul is the one to dethrone the tribal chief, I have no objections, because, like I said, we've said it before and say it again, there's not a lot of people left. I mean, they have increased the number with the returns, but they need to stay. If Logan Paul is going to be the champ, this would be a good time to do it. I definitely see him being champion down the road. If he doesn't get the job done here, it will happen in the future, guaranteed. But because with everything going down and with everything that we know to be true, I still believe that the tribal chief, the head of the table, he is going to remain our champion, and we're going to have to wait another time to see a title change.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be cool to see some interference run by The Miz after what happened last week on Raw, after he was humiliated? It's just not fair the way that man is treated. All he was trying to do was give Reigns camp some intel on his old buddy. And what did Roman Reigns say? He said, I don't need that. I'm not even going to stand up here and hype up this match, which is a brilliant promo. I mean,
Yeah.
but I feel like the Miz is going to get involved somehow, and maybe Randy Orton return, huh? Maybe
Could
he
be.
comes in, gets a quick RKO in there somewhere. Who knows? A lot's
Yeah.
going on. I'm with you though. Let's be honest. Roman Reigns is not losing the title this Saturday, and he's
Right.
not losing it to Logan Paul. But I totally agree with you in creating doubt, and that's exactly what Jake Paul does in that corner. So brilliant move by WWE. Booch, as it stands right now, there will be no new prediction champion because we both selected the same contender. Let's
Yeah.
move it on down the line. Let's see if this changes here.
Yes. I will say that I do have to catch the irony of that promo on Raw, where they're talking about Roman not losing to an outsider, and yet an outsider's music hits and comes down to the ring. Am I the only one that caught the irony of that?
Wait, what? The what?
That's it. They were talking about Logan Paul and say, we're not going to lose to an outsider. Next thing
Uh-huh.
you know, an outsider comes into the ring to try to give Roman Reigns intel. You know, the man who has the reality star that's infiltrated WWE for well over a decade. The most ironic part of the whole story. I found that so entertaining. Just the irony in that was beautiful. It was beautiful. Love that moment on Raw.
How is Miz an outsider? He's like an established brand within a brand. I mean, he literally is so good that they took the W and turned it into an M and put it on a microphone and then put it in front of him. Did they do that for you, Booch?
Well, I don't work for the company, but who knows? Maybe if I get a job there, they might give me a little something.
Okay, well, time will tell. And
Time will tell.
time will tell here. Good brothers, right? I don't find these guys to be good at all. I find them to be kind of this scummy. And you know what? The Judgment Day is going to continue to expose this newly refounded faction in the OC. And this is a 6-man tag team match, no title on the line, of course, but this is definitely a comeback tour for the OC.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough though. I think the Judgment Day are hot. This is going to be a fun match. In my prediction, it's like a 60-40 prediction that the Judgment Day wins this match. Booch, what say you?
This is a tough one to call for me because I feel like, on the one hand, the Judgment Day is on a roll. They're definitely on a roll. At the same time, I feel like the OC, I know there's a plan in place for these guys. As I mentioned before, I have a reliable source that has told me. I will admit I did not. The buildup I have not been much of a fan of. I am not a fan of watching Rhea Ripley body slam Luke Gallows made me throw up continuously. I'm like, this is the saddest thing I've seen on TV. I don't see how that helps helps out. But either way, I still believe in the 6-man tag. I think if the Good Brothers, I feel like, need this win here. And plus, I don't see Finn Balor taking any pins in the match, but I think with Dominic there, since Dominic's not, even though Dominic is being established, he's not quite as experienced, and he's still at that phase of his heel turn where he's being led around like a lapdog. So I feel like he's going to be the one to eat the pin for the Judgment Day. And I feel like the OC is going to win, but they're going to pin Dominic to do it. Finn's not taking the L. Damien's not taking the L, but I feel like Dominic will be the guy to, do that while they have like either Gallows or Anderson or maybe Styles, one of them pins, I think, to get the win. So I'm going to go with the OC. I feel like the OC is going to win this one.
Our first point of disagreement, there may be a new prediction champion. Probably not, but there may be. Listen, somebody wins the lottery every now and then. Not recently, but I guess it'll happen. I never play it, so it won't be me. Brock Lesnar cashing in this weekend against Bobby Lashley. No title on the line. Booch, I think this is going to set up to be the best of 3. I'm going to take Brock Lesnar in this one. What do you think?
I don't know if it's going to be a best of 3 because I don't know how often Lesnar's going to be making appearances or how much longer they want to drag it out for. I feel like this is a win that Bobby needs because he got beat up by Brock. even though he got the upper hand in the brawl and the following week, he still lost the United States title to Seth Rollins as a result of that. So Bobby's been dealt a heavy hit. I feel like he needs this win because Bobby Lashley's going to be the one that shows up Monday night on Raw. Brock, unless they're going to do something with him at Survivor Series, which I doubt they're going to do, I feel like Brock's either on a WrestleMania or a Saudi Arabia deal going forward. So I think, especially with Triple H now in charge, I can say this confidently, because if Vince was in charge, he might have given it to Brock. But with Hunter in charge, I think Bobby Lashley's going to take the win. So I'm going to go with the Almighty on this one.
Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross with Scarlett in his corner, kind of dangerous, right? And one of those guys that Roman Reigns could see in the nearish future. For me, in a steel cage, I'm going to go with, I can't tell you until you tell me. Go for it.
I'm looking at this. Obviously, they're locking these guys in a cage, and obviously, you know, I look at it like this: if they're gonna use Scarlett to help Karrion Kross cheat to win, then they're probably gonna use the cage as a way to give Drew his win back. I don't think he deserves it, but I feel like they want to keep Drew McIntyre strong for whatever reason. For reasons that don't make sense. So for this one, I'm gonna go with Drew McIntyre. Even though I don't think he should win, but I got a strong feeling that he's gonna. I don't know. I think this could be a best of 3 between them. I don't see this rivalry ending anytime soon. So I'll go with McIntyre.
I am gonna go with Karrion Kross with Scarlett in his corner. I know it's a steel cage match, but she's found ways, Booch. She'll find a way to help him. And that's what a good manager does, right? And she's good. She's very effective at what she does, which is running interference. Braun Strowman going against Omos, singles match. Again, this is just one of those just kind of like pride matches. Braun Strowman coming back as of late, kind of a fresh return there. Probably one of H's guys, if you think about it. This is tough, man, because like Omos could use a win. This would be a big win for him. But like I said, Braun Strowman just came back. I'm going to go with Omos.
This one, I'm looking at this. I don't know where they're going to go with this match. I feel like they're doing this. This is a match they're adding to the card as filler. But I feel like with the way Strowman's been booked and what they've done with him, like the fact that he was struggling with Otis and all that stuff, like he had a good solid like return, and then for a little while they've been kind of not doing a good job with him. As far as like even though he's gotten wins over people, the fact that he's selling for most of this roster is, I find, to be abysmal. So I feel like with Braun coming back, if you want fans to take him seriously this time around, he needs a solid win on a pay-per-view because he hasn't had one yet. So I feel like I'm going to go with him. So I think this win for Omos is going to work because I don't see Omos being – I feel like he's just a big guy that's just going to be there. I don't see him being a champion. I don't see him having a lot of gold. He's been a tag team champion with AJ, but that's about it. I don't know what they're doing with him. So I feel like Braun, there's more money to be made with him because fans are behind him. So I give it to Strowman.
All right. This is the first championship match we've talked about since the first one we talked about, Reigns versus Logan Paul. And this one being a last woman standing match for the Raw Women's Championship. The challenger, Bayley, taking on the champ, the EST, the strongest, the fastest, the best, Bianca Belair. Booch, what say you?
Oh boy. This one's going to be a tough to call because I thought the ladder match was going to be it. I thought that was Bayley's moment. I don't know if they want to save it for Saudi Arabia or if they're trying to save it for another moment, but I do feel like Damage Control is white hot right now and they need to capitalize on it because the steam is wearing off, especially with the fact that they just lost the tag titles. I don't know. I feel like for Saudi Arabia, this could be a moment where if Bayley can win the title and Damage Control get the tag belts back, and the end of the show, and they have the three of them standing tall in Saudi Arabia, I think it would be a great moment for the faction, but also a moment where you can establish not only that they're the dominant female faction, but the dominant female faction in Saudi Arabia. I feel like in Saudi Arabia, that can mean more, because the fact there's women matches, period, are drawing attention to the company. So I feel like from a branding standpoint, if you have the three of them holding their belts up and amongst the Saudi crowd, that'll work. So I'm going to go with Bayley on this one.
It's tough, right? That you just brought us a really good insight there, Booch, to the societal and cultural tie-in here to all this. And there's a lot of that here. I don't know if they're even thinking that deep though, Booch, because usually you outsmart the writers in the room.
Yeah.
For me, I kind of wonder if they're waiting until the GOAT returns. And I think you know who I'm talking about. You can say it. You can say her name. It's okay. You won't know.
Well, I assume you're saying that's because she looks like a goat, but I think, I know who you're talking about.
Charlotte Flair does not look like a goat. She is as beautiful as her father. So talking ill of her is talking ill of Mr. Rick.
There's enough people doing that, so I won't go there.
This is tough, man, because like I don't think they're gonna give it to Bayley yet. But then everything you just said, I kind of you're swaying my vote as I'm standing here in this line for early voting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with Bianca Belair. I'm gonna stick with my gut. So that's another point of disagreement. This is getting interesting. This next match, I'm not really interested in it because to me, this is going to be a squash match, Booch. And maybe not in terms of time, but like, there's no way in terms of like reality, this is not happening. The Brawling Brutes are not defeating the Usos and taking the undisputed tag team championships. It's just not happening. I mean, do you disagree?
No, I don't think. I know that eventually the Usos are going to drop those belts. I don't think it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. I feel like that's going to be more of a. I have a feeling they're going to hold on. I think at least through WrestleMania they're going to hold them. I think, because I thought maybe they dropped them at Survivor Series, but I've been hearing talks of that the Bloodline might be involved in War Games, for Survivor Series. So I feel like they're going to hold on to those belts for now. So I think the best plan of action would be for the Usos to hold on to the titles, for at least for now. And then maybe when you get closer to WrestleMania or even at WrestleMania, that's when we get the new tag team that needs to go out there. And if I could be so bold to say it, I would go with the Good Brothers to be the ones to take it, because they have other tag teams they've already beaten. I don't see them establishing anybody new. That's what I would do. I would go to WrestleMania and have Gallows and Anderson be the ones to beat the Usos and get the undisputed belts, because they haven't faced the Good Brothers. And it would be an established team that everybody knows, everybody loves, everybody respects, beating the Usos to win the titles. So that's what I would do. So I definitely think the Usos are winning.
I think the dogs agree, Booch.
Yes.
And then there was one. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship on the line as Alexa Bliss and Asuka defend against aforementioned Damage Control, Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Does this match have anything to do with what happens, I don't know, probably earlier, maybe later on this event?
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. I kind of feel like this is time for Damage Control as a tag team to win. And I think this is a more feasible swap of gold. And I think this is a match that Damage Control can and will win this Saturday.
Yes, I agree. Damage Control is definitely winning this match. There's no doubt in my mind.
So there you have it. Let's go through them, Booch, from the top down. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. We both agree that Roman Reigns will retain for at least another week. So 3 years in 1 week. How many days is that? That's over what? It's over.
Yeah.
We're over 1,000 days as it is.
Yes, it's at least 2 years he's been champ. So it's 2 years and some change.
Is it 2 or 3?
It's 2 because he
2
won
years?
he at SummerSlam 2020. He is when he first won the Universal title. He won in the triple threat match against Braun Strowman and The Fiend. And
That's right.
He pinned Braun Strowman to do it. That's why some people think Bray Wyatt might be the one to dethrone the Tribal Chief because he never beat Bray.
Got it.
So, and then of course he won the WWE title at WrestleMania last year against Brock, thus making him the double champ.
And then there was the Good Brothers versus the Judgment Day. I believe the Judgment Day is going to win that match. Who did you have in that match, Booch?
The OC.
All right. Lesnar and Lashley. I believe Lesnar is going to win. You believe that?
Bobby Lashley.
McIntyre versus Cross and Scarlett. I got Scarlett and Cross. Who do you have again?
I got Drew McIntyre.
Woo. Strowman versus Omos. I got Omos.
I got Strowman.
Woo. Bianca Belair versus Bayley. I know you got Bayley, and I got Bianca.
Yep.
Usos versus the Brawling Brutes. Both agree. Usos are winning this. And of course, the last match we agree on, as we both believe that Bliss and Asuka are dropping the titles to Damage Control. Boots, there will be a clear-cut winner after Saturday. And I just want to give you the opportunity now to wish me luck.
Absolutely. I do wish you the best of luck. I always do, man. It's it's going to be competitive. It's going to be interesting. I do now. Don't get me wrong. I do believe next time we meet, there will be a title on this shoulder. But I still wish you the best of luck. I still, I will be as gracious as I was before. I will have my cigars in celebration if you win again.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a grandiose event. And one thing, my friends, Roman's countrymen, that will never ever do is leave you without saying, have a nice day.
And of course, bang, bang.